Down. He wants to invest again. I'm going to interrupt that. Down. Down. Push with my... So I haven't used the remote collar at all. Now he's sniffing a little bit. Hey. So I don't want that. Okay. Now the dog's been in here. I don't want him doing that. Okay. I want him to... I want myself to fade in. Okay. So he's here. I'm going to turn the vehicle on here in a second. I'll move the camera over to the front. That way you have a view this way. And notice what I'm doing here. I'm saying, hey. So there, hit the wrong button here. Garage door down. But notice this is the first time here. I'm pushing on my fingers on him a little bit here. This is the first time. So I'll move the leash around. But even as I move the leash, I don't want to pull on the leash so he thinks that I want him to move. Okay, so just keep it slack behind me. Now I get the door closed. Now I got one part of the stage done. Okay, so again, when you do this for the first time, this is going to take a little bit more time, because right here again, this is about how things line up. Understands about things making sense. So everything I've done with Max during this whole process, this still ties into it. Okay, still makes sense how I'm moving the leash, my expectations. You know, he's in the vehicle, I own it. And so, you know, because that whole thing with dogs, I mean, the issue about them lunging or investing, right, and having a moment where, you know, I go into the drive-through and thinking, okay, is he gonna try to, you know, lunge towards the person handing my coffee? Okay, and that's why I have the remote collar here. So now, you know, I can, you know, if I don't have an opportunity to be able to move the leash because I'm focused on something else, now I can tap him with the remote collar during certain moments. But again, I want to be very kind of intentional with that to make sure, you know, the moments aren't, you know, because again, it's about how you use a device. Okay, so here I haven't used this yet. Okay, I've just used to the leash, my fingertips, you know, asserting influence for him to go into a down. So here, again, another step forward. And so here, same thing here. You know, I just want him to relax back there. And I'm gonna move the vehicle here in a moment. But again, take a couple minutes before you start to roll forward. So this is where, if you're working with a dog, the first, you know, couple times, you want to do it this way without even going anywhere. Okay, just stay in the driveway. Set this up the same way. This is about like a de-stressing exercise. Okay, so here I'm going to start to move forward. I'm going to get myself situated. I got a couple of Dunkin Donut cards here on me somewhere. There we go. A couple of Dunkin Donut cards, which I'm going to use. I don't know how much is even on both of these, so we'll get rid of these while I'm there. Buy coffee and some donut holes. In Canada, they're called Timbits, just for people's information purposes. Okay, so we're going to get some goodies and go from there. So here we're going to get rolling here. Seatbelt on. Now verbally too, I can be very, if I'm interacting with a dog, I'd be very assertive. Okay, here I want to be more assertive if I see any kind of shenanigans. Okay, and just awareness here with Max. Okay, so to roll here with him. Now even here I put it into reverse, back up a little bit, and this is where I can just stop for a second here. And this is what you want to do too, is just kind of just take your time, start the roll, stop, so I can, you know, if something's going on, I can start to get them settled in, like getting used to the motion somewhat before I go kind of fully forward. So here, just because again, if he pops up, I'm going to advocate him to go back and do a down. Doing great so far, but no praise, no reward. That will excite him. Okay, this is about just being very much leadership. Hey, there he went up. Down. This is why I'm going to use the remote collar. Down. So I'm going to give him a little nudge with the remote collar. Down. 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 Hey, down. There we go. Great example of how to use a remote collar. So he got up really fast there, and he turned the other way, which is fine. It's not about just saying he's got to be turned facing a certain direction. You know, it's about him being in a, so right there I used the remote collar because I had to, and just not, but again, it makes more sense to him. So I understand, even using a remote collar, give him a little nudge, it's turned way down. It's just like to give him a little bit of a nudge. Hey. So he's just like starting to sniff a little bit, because again, this is a different expectation. This is the right way, and so it's going to challenge him. But again, once you get the first strip in or two, it just gets so much better. It gets to a point where, you know, again, no muzzle, you know, very relaxed. You know, right now I'm like, I have to be like, I'm on it. Okay, this sets everything in motion. This is your framework right here. No praise and reward. Don't get me wrong, I can be very happy, which I am, with certain moments, right? I'm saying that's fantastic, really want to pet him, but that's, understand, if you do that, that's for you, not him. It's not helpful because you're still in process. So, you know, leadership needs to be key, influence needs to be active. So it's a de-stressing exercise. So the replacement for what's called positive reinforcement, as people call it, and reward, is the fact that I'm taking stress off of Max. Okay, these people are turning. All right, and Dunkin Donuts isn't too far away from my house here. They just built a new one up here, which is great. I usually brew most of my coffee at home, just everywhere. I got Tim Hortons actually. I have a bunch of Tim Hortons K-Cups, which again is great. Okay, we're gonna turn here. Let's see here. But I come through Dunkin Donuts once in a while. Hey, down. Same thing. So see, he jumped up here, getting near, you know, he may sense, okay, peripherally near a building or whatever. That's why he's got the muzzle on, right? Same thing when the, hey, so right here, it's like same thing, that fading in. Just think of the exercise I'm doing with him, with me sitting at my desk in the chair, he's in the crate, other dogs come up. Watch that. This is the same type of thing here, except for we're in the vehicle. Be, you know, you gotta be intense. He's got to know that, hey, no shenanigans.
America runs on Dunkin. This is Ronnie. How are we doing today?
Good. Can I get a large coffee with 2 cream and 2 sugar?
A large hot with 2 and 2?
Yep. And okay. Do you have donut holes glazed?
Okay.
What's your size of those?
Well, we can go from 1 through 12 or 5, 10, 25, 50.
I'll do 25.
25?
Yeah. 25
glazed munchkins?
Yes.
You got it.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, go ahead and pull forward to the first one now.
Thank you.
No problem.
Now here, this is where, again, I'm being a little more vigilant. I usually don't put sugar in my coffee, by the way, but I come here, Dunkin Donuts, I'll